Hart will appear in 12 of the 16 episodes in All the Queen's Men Season 4, and she will be the season premiere of Paramount Criminal Minds. Hart Hayes has done so much. She is a Black woman doing her thing. You guys, help me welcome Miss Hart Hayes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Black Link Magazine. My name is Marva B. I am the CEO and founder, and I'm so excited to have Hart Hayes with us today on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Hart, welcome to Black Link Magazine. Thank you for your time and for saying yes to this interview.
Oh, good morning. Thanks for having me today.
Yes, we're so excited to hear about all of the things that you've done. I looked at your bio and I was just blown away and just excited for another Black woman doing her thing. So let's just talk about it. You are an actress and you have been on stages with some powerful people, Tony Braxton. Okay, so we'll get to talk about all of that. So let's just have you to formally introduce yourself to all the people, my audience that is probably some are new to you. Just let them know who you are and what you do.
Oh, all right. Hey everybody. So yes, my name is Hart Hayes. Born and raised here in Los Angeles, and I've been in the entertainment industry for pretty much my whole life. My mom got me involved. I started, with print commercials and doing background work when I was a little kid, and just kept at it, and I enjoyed it. My mom never really pushed me to do it. She always checked in and make sure, like, am I having fun? Is this what I like? And I did. And as I got older, I got into dance and choreography, and I kept at it. So yeah, my whole life I've been acting, dancing, singing here and there, modeling, but my main focus is definitely acting now. I've had a few years ago taken breaks from it to, tour with some great
Yeah.
artists
Yeah.
and
Yes.
experience the dance life a little bit more.
Yeah.
So now I get to do both still with doing my films and more like choreographing and stuff now.
When you
Yeah.
talk about dance, like I looked at your bio and it's, I mean, all type of dance, belly dance, hip hop dance, like everything. And I think that you have to be well-rounded, like, right, to be in the industry, like be able to do a little bit of everything to be in this industry.
Yeah, I always encourage up and coming actors to, be diverse, because it will allow a lot more opportunities to play, and as a creative, I think we're always interested in trying new things. We were like, well, I want to try this now. I would say I started when it came to dance. I did start as a kid training in what I call the basics, jazz, hip hop, ballet. Um, and then I was introduced to Brazilian samba dance, was the first cultural style of dance I was introduced to at the end of high school. And it just snowballed from there. Here in Los Angeles, it's a little different than New York. Like New York, if you want to be in theater, that's where you need to be. Here in Los Angeles is more commercial based, so music videos, award shows, tours, but also there's another world of dance companies and entertainment companies that are booked for various events that happens here in Los Angeles, and that's where all the cultural dance come from. And so I joined a lot of companies and learned all those different styles that you listed through that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I always love this business and just to see people flourish in their what they're good at. And I was just like amazed at your bio. You so you said one thing you said was that your mom got you in the business, but what I liked about that is you said she checked in with you because I see like a lot of mothers wanting their child to be in the business and their child don't want to be in the business and they're kind of
Right.
forced. But I can appreciate mothers that like, hey, if this is not what you want to do, we can stop anytime. But if you're having fun, let's make sure it's not a job, it's having fun. So I have a high respect for mothers that, check in with their child, make sure that's what they want to do.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate my mom, seeing something in me, even though I was the shyest kid ever. But I don't know if it was just people and family that was connected in business or whatnot, was like, she's so cute. You need to put her in commercials or something. I don't know. But I was so shy. So she definitely, like, um, she had a good balance. I appreciate. Like, I didn't feel forced, um And so she would ask me like if I was having fun, if I still want to do this. At the same time, she would like, say I have to work. Okay, you're doing this. You gotta do this. You gotta go in there. You gotta, do your thing. So she didn't baby me at all at the same time with it. And then even, as I got older, like in high school, she asked me again, like, well, what else would you do besides entertainment? Like, if you had to pick anything. And I'm like, I don't know. And I was like, I'll be a designer. And she's like, okay, that's still kind of like,
I was gonna say that's still in the business. That's still in the business.
right. So I appreciate that she definitely, I never felt forced to do it, and that it was a experience for her too, being a single mom and trying to balance, creating a career and something for me, as well as take care of me and my sister. And with that, with jobs I got as a kid was a blessing, because sometimes at a young age I had to help out with, bills and stuff, very young. So it taught me responsibility
Absolutely.
as well. Yeah.
Absolutely, especially when your mom's all into your career and helping you get there. We got to help, and so it's like you can look back on that and appreciate that. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this interview. You just don't know. But anyway, I wanted to talk about like your experiences. So you got into dancing, you were in acting, but then you got on the stages with like Chris Brown and Tony Braxton and music stuff. Tell me about that and how that connection ended up being.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, okay, with Chris Brown, he was one artist that I did a music video for a couple times. So like when I became like out of high school, my agent started sending me out on these music videos. And my mom was like, hold up, she's an actress, not a video vixen. But I didn't mind, like I pick and choose which artists that, I kind of kept like more close to R&B artists with storylines and a story with their like, videos. So it was fun because I just liked being on set and I like being in front of the camera. And
Yeah.
so that period of my career was I had a good time doing it. And with Tony Braxton,
Oh
that
my
came a
gosh, Tony.
little later. Yeah, it was interesting because I had actually told myself I'm not going to tour anymore, because I did a tour. I was a part of a Bollywood Indian show that toured internationally.
Yes, I saw that.
And I did that for a few years. And I kind of was like, okay, I experienced my tour life. I'm going to sit down and refocus to acting, because being a dancer is not easy. The lifestyle's not easy, the pay, the treatment, all these things. I appreciate Victoria Monet standing up for dancers, choreographers in her acceptance speech for her award on BT. I was like, oh my,
Right.
yes, like
You were
tell
there
the
and
world.
you were there, right? You got to
I
be
was
in the
there,
person. Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
So when she was talking, I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. I know what you're talking about. So anyways, I told myself I'm done touring. I'm gonna, refocus back to acting. And I was just sitting on my couch one day. This tends to happen after the holidays. It gets very slow with performances and shows, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing with my life? Like nothing's coming in. But it's like that in January. It's just dead, And I just got a phone call. I was referred by another choreographer that I worked with, and they were like, we need someone else on this tour last minute. And like literally later that night I was on the plane. So it's
So
like,
that was meant to be, right?
yeah, definitely. It came at a time that was like, oh my gosh, right. It was right on time. So I was like, okay, it's Tony Braxton. Of course, I'm not gonna say no. Um,
Absolutely. So tell me, what was it like working with her? Because that came like suddenly, you weren't expected to do that. How did you have to prepare at last minute, to do all those things? Because the preparation is something.
yes. Oh my gosh. So I'm so happy you asked that, because I have such a funny story about that. Like I said, it was literally I was on the plane and I'm going to be on the road for almost 2 months, and I probably had 2 days maybe before our first show. I did not sleep for 24 hours for sure.
I
Um,
bet.
and I was sent the music and the tracks and the lyrics, all these things ahead of time, like to study on the plane at least.
Right.
And I didn't realize until after the tour when I was doing an interview that I had this like full circle moment. So as I mentioned that I was raised by a single mother,
Yes.
and when I was probably 8, 9 years old, we went to stay in a women's shelter for a few months
Uh-huh.
so she could get assistant living to
Right.
help out with rent and stuff. Like we live in LA, it's not cheap. Um,
I live there. I
and
know. I'm like, oh, I
yeah,
gotta leave.
so during that time as a kid, I didn't know what's going on. Where are we living? All these things. And my mom, when she would play Tony Braxton album, CD or whatever, that time. So when my mom likes a new like soundtrack or album, that's all she's playing. And so I literally heard this album every single day,
Yeah.
like every single
Yep.
day. And it was interesting because I feel like because I was listening to that every day and there was like so many hits that and songs that she did perform in the tour, I already knew I was so familiar with the music,
That was
And so it was just like interesting while I was in the middle of this interview, I was like, wait a minute, like I was once listening to Toni Braxton while living in a women's shelter as a kid, and now I'm here touring with her and
wow.
not even ever thinking like that would happen when you're young, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, like that kind of prepared me for this like sudden, opportunity to perform with one
Yeah.
of the greatest singers ever.
Well, that's amazing. And then, like you said, we'll go back to what we were talking about. You have to be diverse. And so, and you have to be, I think in this business that you're in, you have to stay ready. Like, just like you said, it might be silent right now, and then you got a ton of things coming at you, and you have to be prepared for that. And so it sounds like, your mom had you prepared. And when you said, like, your mom played something, I can hear my child saying, do we have to hear that again? Because if I like it, I love it, right? And so, yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, so then let's talk about Queens, all the Queens men and working with Christian Keys and Tyler Perry and all those great people and how that opportunity came because if I'm correct, like you're going to be in 14 of 16 episodes or something like that.
For 12 or 14. It was so
I thought
many.
I saw 14 somewhere, but whatever it is, that's a big number and that kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was like amazing getting that call. I wasn't expecting it because I had like auditioned and after I auditioned, I kind of just throw it away. Don't try to think about it anymore because it's out of your hands then, you have no control. And you don't want to like in this business to stay strong, you can't harbor over every single audition. Um, so like my manager called me. I was literally at the dentist, like getting my mouth numbed and like so it was very hard to get fully excited at the moment. But it was a great experience. Like once again, like on that plane right away to Atlanta to shoot. And um it was go time. I had like very minimal time to prepare. But with training and just taking everything I've learned and studied, I was able to pull through and I connected being a live performer with shooting this show because it goes so fast and
Right.
so I had to kind of put myself in a mindset of I'm not shooting a television show, I'm shooting a live show
Right.
to get the work out. That kind of helped me in a way.
Right. So the being on set, like I'm like, I just want to go on somebody's set to see how that worked. What was the vibe like, and what was the atmosphere on the set?
The atmosphere was great. Like, oh my gosh, that's what's interesting when you come in as a recurring role or a new character, especially when the show is like 4 seasons in. This is gonna be season 4. everybody else, like the series regulars, they've created a chemistry and like a family already, you know. So sometimes you're coming in and you're like the newbie and the outsider, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's this gonna be like, you know? Everybody was so welcoming, so nice. Like, what character you're playing? I'm so and so. Nice to meet you. And so it was just good vibes. My castmate, the co-star I was working with most of the time, I could not ask for anybody better to work with. He was so professional and considerate of me, and in all our work we were doing together. So it was a good time. My favorite time was sitting on set and when they were shooting their dance scenes.
Of course.
Because not only like they're dancing, but they are like all these hot actors running around in their costumes, and you're like, okay, it's not bad night. My job doesn't suck. But so yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
So where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? Like you're now connected with Tyler Perry, Christian Keys. Like what's next?
Oh my gosh, I could only hope to continue to work with both of them more. I hope, you know, they like everything I brought and maybe bring me back for another season or any other projects. It's one thing I've always heard from other actors that worked with Tyler Perry is that he definitely loves to like, you know, bring on actors on other projects and stuff, and he's open to all these ideas and stuff. And so that's it's like kind of being a part of a community that I'm excited about. So I hope to, yeah, continue to work with him. I would love to do movies, like more movies. I shot a movie last year and that I act and choreographed in. Um, but I would love to do more movies, especially like action or romantic comedies. I love movies. I love movies that allow me to escape, you know. So that's the goals. That's the goals. Hoping more of that comes through. Yeah.
Do you have something with Star Trek coming up or already did something with Star Trek?
Starstruck. Yes, the movie is called Starstruck. It was written, directed by Jamal Hill. It's going to star Corey Hardrict and a lot of other um, just young actors. It's a great cast that I don't know when it's coming out yet. I'm hoping this year, but it's such a good story just about young talent coming up in the music industry pretty much.
Oh, fun,
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, yeah. This before we go, your greatest and best advice you're giving to young Black girls to come in this business.
Mm.
This business is not a, you got to have a backbone to be in this business. What is the best advice?
Oh man. The best advice to specifically young Black girls is stay true to yourself. Um, like you can, you know, not, you don't, just because you have standards or limits does not make you a diva. And I know that get put on us a lot, you know, oh, they're difficult or this and that. And
Yeah.
if you're not comfortable, like with all the Queensmen, I did, you know, made a very tough decision of like, hey, I'm okay with this, but not full nudity, you know, and because that's always been a thing for me, just who I am. I'm
Good for
pretty
you. Good
reserved.
for
People
you.
are like,
Kudos to you.
for many reasons I had that, you know, and it was nerve-wracking. And so I know that a lot of young actors and actresses, they're gonna, especially women, we're gonna be presented with that, you know, and if you're truly not comfortable doing something, don't feel like you have to or your career is going to be over. Especially these days, I feel like, you know, it's hard to see sometimes, but I feel like there is more support. And that's what I got from the studios and from the producers was 100% support on that decision. And so I say stay true to yourself and, you know, don't get lost in all the things, like all the clouds, all the fog, like know exactly what your purpose is in being in this industry. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that advice because it's true, especially when you're beautiful like yourself. They're going to ask the questions to see if you'll bite. And so you have to be strong and stay true to yourself. How can people find you on all social media sites?
Oh my gosh, I am my I would say the main place to follow me would be Instagram, and that is at the Heart Haze. And yeah, just follow me there. That's where I'm at most of the time.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you understanding my little baby and just be keeping a good, great attitude with this. I hear him. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. We support you over here and we wish you nothing but the best. Keep shining and we'll see you. We'll see you around. We're going to be following you and we'll push this interview. And if we could ever be of assistance, let us know. You guys, we're going to go for now. But remember, respect yourself. Respect each other. God bless.
Thank you.